nothing. See, he's not gonna do it automatically. So you have to change your boot options. So what we're gonna do now is we are gonna redo it, right? So we're gonna press F2, start the computer, aces, beautifully. Here we are, back to the boot menu, and redo these things again. Hi everyone, Ingrid here. I have spent the last few days trying to repair my computer, and actually it was not in a state of in the need of being repaired, but something happened, and then something else happened, and then a few things happened, and then nothing worked anymore. So I just want to address this problem. This computer was working completely fine, no problems whatsoever. It was a beautiful working, nicely, properly doing everything super laptop. I'm so happy with this laptop, I love it. And I wanted to change my SSD drive, which I have here. This is the Samsung, the older one, which is a 200 gig one, the 250 gig one. I wanted to change it into 1 terabyte one. So what happened is I installed my Windows 10 and ended up with a dead screen. Black screen problem. So that's an actual issue, and people call it a booting problem. How do you call it? Black screen of death. It's an actual issue. It happens a lot, and it's called black screen of death. So your computer is working fine, and you know it. And you start the computer. You hear the fan. You hear your DVD drive. But nothing is happening. You just stop. It stops at the black screen. So if you have a black screen problem, stay still. So what happened to me was I'm sitting here for a few days now. It's a very long process, so I will just skip and try to put this nicely. So I'm not sure now if it was the BIOS that I restarted and it helped, or it was the fixing the booting. So just look into that, reset your bootings and your booting options, and update your BIOS. I had a very big issue with my BIOS. I couldn't enter it. I didn't know how. I didn't know it's not a big thing now anymore. But when I do the shift thing, so you go to your Windows here, go here, start fresh with shift pressed. I cannot do it because I'm holding my phone. What you see, it's gonna restart and open this one. This is options for repairing your computer as well. So you have the problem, troubleshoot, it's in English, more options. As you see, I cannot enter my UEFI from here. That's what I was referring to. So I have to use my keys. There is no other way I can enter this BIOS. So it's not possible from this interface here. You cannot enter your BIOS by pressing F2 key. This is probably a common known thing. It's because of your fast boot system that's on your computer. So you have to close the fast booting system in your computer. You have to go to System. Here, my computer is in German, so I don't know how it's called in English, but it's probably looking the same. Even if not, you can see the icons. This is for energy options. Then you have to go right here. This says in English what is going to happen if you press the key, this key. So, and there it is. This is the option Schnellstart in German. It's called, actually it's just fast start, fast booting. So you have to disable it. So most probably your computer is in the fast boot mode, like so. So I will change it back to fast boot to show you that it's not working anymore. Because in this option, your keys are locked. So it does it does boot the computer much faster, that's for sure. And so it does just disable these keys. So no matter what you press, nothing will work. Or it will work every 20th boot. So I'll just start my computer. As you can see, I press F2 right away. And nothing's happening. So once more, I can tell you this changed. This was a very big deal for me, because it's a game changer if you don't understand why you cannot enter your BIOS the normal way. So I thought my BIOS is broken. So we will do it one more time. I'll press F2, press the key to the, I don't know the word in German, in English. The key that runs your computer, whatever. So in any case, it didn't work again. So let's go back to systems. And energy options. Back to that one. We have to disable this one here because this cannot be pressed. So we have to go to fast boot, deactivate it, and go to save changes, and then you are out. You can just look at it again. It's not ticked, so this is for you to be able to tick it. As you can see, I cannot press anything here, so I have to press this one to be able to press these buttons here. So whatever, this is now not ticked. Saving it, just checking again, not ticked. So let's get out of here. And we are shutting down the computer for the keys. So F2 pressed. And here it is. Isn't it a beauty? I don't know how much you struggled with this. This took me several days to figure this simple thing out. This is so simple. It's actually also logical, but I couldn't find this information anywhere. So this is beautiful. My BIOS is properly working now. So to be honest with you, I'm not even sure if that was the whole cause of it. So deactivating the fast starting system will definitely bring you back to your BIOS if your computer is running whatsoever and your BIOS is not completely dead. How the heck I'm supposed to change my fast booting options if my damn computer is not working? So how do you change that? So that's a very good question, people. The answer to that question is you have a big problem, but the problem is not unsolvable. Most probably, if you know that your computer worked fine, yeah, everything worked properly, use your USB as a boot menu. This is at least what I know, and I can tell you what helped me. I sat here for 4 or 5 days. I don't know, 4 days. I didn't record a time or something. But I started with a beautifully working computer, ended with a dead computer, nothing worked. I pressed the power button, nothing worked anymore. Dead. To a beautifully working computer again. So let's so how am I supposed to change my my options, so my fast booting system, if my computer is not going on? Use your USB that is a bootable USB, obviously, and hope that your poor computer with the dead screen problem will just do it at some point, as I did. So at some point, when it goes on and off, on and off, on and off, on and off, you cannot press F2 because your keys are locked. So it does not enter the boot menu. You cannot enter the boot menu, the damned boot menu, because of your fast loading thing. So this can change your life. You can think you don't have a BIOS. You have a BIOS, but it's locked. So change the thing. and just try. Restart it moreover, restart it here and there, restart it again, restart it and hope. And when you restart it and you enter your Windows that should work properly, then just don't just that thing, you know what I mean. Disable the fast booting, and then use your BIOS. In your BIOS, as soon as you enter your BIOS, you change your boot menu, you change to normal SSD, and then it should work fine. So the booting options are here in boot, here. So you have boot priorities. This interface or this options look very differently in different BIOSes. So this BIOS is an AMI BIOS 2011 build, AMI. And this is one of the most common ones, as I heard. Also, it's a legacy interface. This is the old one. You have your booting options, and you can change them. How you change them is by pressing plus and minus here. So it also says here what you can do, how to change these things. So to change the booting options is what is going to boot your computer. So I'm pretty sure if I change these options, let's see. So I will change this one, go there. So as you can see, I just changed. As my first option, I had Windows Boot Manager. Wait a second, I'll show you here. Windows Boot Manager is my number one. This is my SSD drive, and this one is my DVD drive. So if I change this, I'm pretty sure, I don't know if it's gonna change, if it's not gonna work anymore. It's possible that my computer is not gonna work anymore after I redo this. I mean that I will have a dead screen issue, because my computer is trying to boot my DVD drive and cannot boot Windows from my Windows drive, from my SSD. So what I put now, DVD drive as number one, and let's see what's gonna happen. And number two should be Windows Boot Manager. Logic would tell you that your computer will recognize, okay, there is nothing in the DVD drive, I'll just start booting from the SSD. So let's see if he's gonna do that, or if he's not gonna do that. So save changes and exit, yes. So now he's gonna boot back to my Windows, I suppose. No, he's not. Reboot and select proper boot device. Or insert boot media and select a boot device. So I will restart my computer now. And I'm telling you, we're gonna end up with a dead computer here. Not dead, but dead screen issue. So back. Aces, beautifully. Windows, nothing. See, he's not gonna do it automatically. So you have to change your boot options. So what we're gonna do now is we are gonna redo it, right? So we're gonna press F2, start the computer, Aces, beautifully. Here we are, back to the boot menu, and redo these things again. I sat here for days. I don't know what happened to my computer. It was a downward spiral. So I started with a beautifully working computer and ended with a bad computer. Nothing happened anymore. I pressed this button, it wouldn't even work anymore. Nothing worked. No fan, no DVD drive, no picture, nothing. How did I do this? So of course it should work properly if it worked properly before. So some setup has to be the problem. So when we turn off our computer to enter these booting menus here, my problem was, of course, when you have a dead computer, every time you turn off your computer, you have the problem that it won't turn on again. And with these things, you have to restart your computer often. Yeah. So when you restart it and it won't go back to your Windows, that's a whole drama. So your computer is maybe working fine. That's all I want to tell you. So first of all, you cannot enter your boot menu that looks like this, and your BIOS on F2 that looks like that, the white one, because of your fast booting system. So you have to get out of that to be able to use the keys. The keys are not being recognized. So on Windows 11 you will have the fast booting system for sure too, but it's possible that the keys are working, so you can look into it. So when you press help with starts, I don't know, this means Starthilfe is help with starting the computer. So if your computer is not working, this is a troubleshoot for it, and you press that one. You have to obviously be careful with these keys here. You can reset your computer. Of course, you have to read carefully what it says. So this is problems with startings. You press this one, and then you will have, I will blend it in here. There is a trouble. I have that problem. What helped me was updating my BIOS. So this was the easiest thing that I did from all the things that I tried, and most of all from waiting for my poor computer to restart again. So in any case, the BIOS is very, very important. So what you do to go into the F2, as you saw, as we just showed, you just change one thing and nothing works anymore. So how do you update your BIOS? That's actually pretty easy, but it's very, very important that it's done well. So you have the name of your mainboard, which is in your info. So I will show you. Most probably info. There's a few ways to get into this information systems things. So the name of your mainboard you can find here. Also, you can find it in many different places if you cannot find it here. So the name of your mainboard, you can find it, of course, when you open up your computer. It is most probably written on it. So this name actually is written on my mainboard. I didn't know that I can find it in the info, but I stepped over it, so I just found it there too. So here it says K55VM, and this is the name of the model of my mainboard. So I just put it into Google, K55VM BIOS update, and it showed me the main website from ASUS, as you can see here. And here you will get to that site from drivers and tools. So this is gonna show up first probably, and then you have here BIOS and firmware, and there you can find your updates, or multiples, or old ones or the newest ones. So this is the oldest one, which I used because my computer is from 2011 actually. So when I go into my BIOS, up there it says 2011 AMI something. So I took the oldest one because there is a possibility that the newer one won't work so well. Don't ask me why. So I just took the oldest one to be sure that this is gonna be, or although you can see here that this one and this one are pretty close to each other from timing. So it's both 2012, nothing 2023. So it worked beautifully. So I just took the oldest one, it worked proper, and I'm just happy with it. So what you do is you download this one. So of course this is only for ASUS. This is of course only for this motherboard, only for a K55VM board that is in your ASUS computer from the ASUS website. Not for any other. If you have, this is very important. You're not supposed to mess this up. So if you crash your BIOS by installing a wrong BIOS on your BIOS, you can crash your whole computer. So be very sure that what you download here is going to be exactly for your motherboard. Motherboard and mainboard, by the way, are supposed to be the same thing. So I downloaded this for my computer. So anyhow, this, then you get this here. You can get a zip the type as zip data. So you can open it here, and then you have to extract it. So just press right click on it and go to extract it all, and just press OK, extract. So, and when you did that, then you will end up with this folder here, which you can see this is a zip file which you extract, and then you end up with a normal file. You can open this file and just copy this into your USB which you prepare. Obviously this USB has to be a different USB. This USB is not your not your Windows. This is the Windows USB for booting the Windows on your computer, and this is a wholly different one. This is a clean one, a clean USB which you use and for this file. Don't ask me why, but when I had two files on this one, so these two files here, and it wouldn't read it. So in the BIOS, when you go into the BIOS settings, so let me try to do that for you. So you put one file. If you have that old of a computer like I do, just take one file on your USB, go back to your BIOS, as we're gonna do now, and this is how you, wait a sec, F2. If I didn't press the fast boot again, which is possible, I didn't. Okay, so you go to boot, no, you go to advanced, and then you go to start easy flash. So before we do that, I'm not sure if it's gonna read it because I opened the boot before I put it inside, but let's try it together. So let's just take the, sorry, I have to handle this here. So take the USB, sorry. So I put the USB inside. Let's see if it's gonna read it. Okay, it's reading it. Which is very important is that your device is plugged in. So this is very important, or this Start Easy Flash is not gonna work. So the Start Easy Flash program is only gonna work if you have a plugged in device. So we have our USB, we have our plugged in thing, and we press enter, enter. So this is okay. So, and here we are. This is the flash utility from the BIOS. And how you flash, it's called flashing your BIOS or updating your BIOS, both works. So how you do that, on this side here, you have your USB. So you can find it here, and your SSD. So FS0, sorry, my finger is in the way, is the AFI, which is most probably my SSD, which we don't need. So we just take our keys here and go down there and press right key for forward, and there we have system volume information, something, and then number 1, press down, and we have this K55 VMAS.211, which I have still on my USB drive, which I did not install. So I did not install this yet because I was so happy with how the old one worked. So the 206 one worked so well that I was so happy with it. I did not touch the other one yet. So if I would press this enter key now, this Easy Flash utility would automatically start updating my BIOS, so actually updating your motherboard again, and this goes automatically then. So it will just restart your computer all over again, and you will end up with a new BIOS. So, or no computer whatsoever. So if you mess this up, then your computer could be completely gone, and nothing could work. So this is what I was told, or not told, but what I heard. So that this BIOS update is very dangerous for your computer. But if you do the steps right, as we just talked about, and you really are sure that what you're downloading and what you are extracting and what you are putting on your USB here and what you are going to flash is the exact name from your computer, and maybe go sure and don't take the newest update right away. Maybe just be sure, go the safe route and take the older update first, because it's possible that it's better, more suitable for your computer if it is that old. So we are talking about a 10-12 year plus old computer, not something 2020 2022 thing. So that's more or less all that I had to say about this. And eventually, after I did that BIOS update, when I went to the utilities here with the starting helps issue, this problem sentence, C drive Windows 32 SRL trail something issue, booting problem. It says just that it's a very severe system failure problem. Okay, it's a severe problem in your system. That's all it says, but it can solve the issue by itself. I tried the commands too. Okay, so there it is. Windows system something commands. So you can find in the internet, when you put into Google or into YouTube, what you probably did if you're watching this video this far, about this exact issue. So, and there is people that say that these commands did help them, but in my case they didn't. So they didn't solve my black screen issue. Just be sure to take a look at your BIOS and your booting options and so forth. And yeah, that's all I have to say. Thank you and bye.